And I'm Jesse Hurlbert.
Welcome to Arthropod Adventures. Season 4, Episode 3, the
Thin waist
with a big head.
Good job. Today's arthropod can be found hiding most of the time, maybe under a rock or some leaf litter. Your best chance at finding them would be at night. This is when they're searching for food. What do we always say, Char?
Guess what it is?
Can you guess what it is?
Can you guess what it is?
Big.
Beetle.
Close. Big-headed ground beetle.
Oh, name.
It is a tough one, and this is a truly fascinating ground beetle in general. And you know what, Charlie? We have these in our backyard, and I had never seen them before until this year when they kept falling into the pool.
And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's what you were like.
Sometimes I rescue spiders, and sometimes I rescue beetles, and that's not all the case.
Yes. So
Always
the
trying to-
scientific name for this beetle is Scorites subterraneus. You want to try it?
What is it again?
Scorites
Scrabies?
subterraneus.
Scrabies?
Subterraneous.
Subterraneous.
Good job. Now, the etymology here was a bit touchy, with no definitives, but from what I could gather, the genus Scorites probably comes from the Greek word for beetle, and the species Subterraneous, well, we knew that. I knew that one without looking it up. When you say terra, right, it has to do with earth, and sub is under, so the name literally means under earth.
Yeah.
So I looked into other animals that had this same species name, Subterraneous, and there are a few other ones. The southern cave fish is Typhlictis subterraneous, and the West Virginia spring salamander, Gyrophilus subterraneous. Yes, now you can tell them something.
So when you have a balloon and it's like it's your birthday, it's bad for Earth because animals and like bugs and arthropods can eat them and makes them sick, and it's not good for the Earth.
That is-
It's littering on Earth.
Yes, that's a good PSA. Thanks, Char. So I would imagine that many people would look at these beetles and say that they just kind of look like a beetle, which is just ordinary, right? But when you give them a chance, they truly have a fun body shape and style. They are shiny jet black in color, and while not huge by any means, they can grow to be an inch or so in length. And they're pretty, you know what this means? If I say from this to this?
Small.
They're small, right? About an inch, and then they're
Skinny.
right? They're narrow. Narrow is another word for skinny. And their elytras are striated, which means, for those of you who are unaware, and this is a new word for me as I have been doing this podcast, right? Striated means that they are striped. And in this case, the stripes are, and the grooves are going vertically up and down their elytras. And the elytras are the hard outer covering on the body, right? You want to try this part, Char?
If we
Move.
up from their
Abdomen.
they have a
Very.
very thankful
Thick.
thing.
No, not think. I wrote think. It's thin.
Don't answer the K. Thin
Waist.
waist, which is not
Something
something
people typically
should typically
associate
associate with a
beetle.
beetle.
Good.
And
According to a great blog that I found called M.O. Bugs, written by Shelley Cox, it is this thin waist that gives them another one of their common names, and I quote, the punjuculate ground beetle, a peduncle is a narrow area connecting two wider areas, and in the case of this beetle, it refers to the tiny waist connecting the elytra to the pronotum, end quote. Now, it makes sense, like, kind of looks like somebody took a belt and wrapped it really tight around the beetle. You ever hear that joke?
Yeah.
What did 0 say to the letter 8? Or to the number 8? Do you know? Looks like your belt's too tight.
Oh, I remember that from kindergarten.
Yeah.
Joke.
Yeah. Now, the pronotum, Charlie, which covers the thorax, is smoother than the abdomen and shiny again. They have a flattish head with eyes that kind of pop out from the sides. And this all culminates in a large set of mandibles. Do you know what mandibles are? Do you remember? They're like mouth parts.
And did you know that our principal, when it's like announcement time, she always gives us jokes.
She gives jokes. Jokes are great.
We have to like try to figure it out, but if we get it right, we get like a sticker from our teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you get it wrong, you don't.
Okay. Now, Charlie, when I say that these are large mandibles, I don't want you to picture like the reddish-brown stag beetle. They're not huge, but they're an impressive set nonetheless. And it is this unique body that allows the big-headed ground beetle to pull off an impressive defensive feat. Now, do you remember the bumble flower beetle we talked about 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
Yeah, right. And remember how we said it could play dead?
Yeah.
Kind of like the blue death fainting beetles we have?
But the black ones, I feel bad. I want to cry because they keep flipping over.
They do. They flip over. But they're not dead, right? They're just playing dead.
And I don't like them to see.
Right? So these beetles are very good, as Charlie is saying, at flipping over or just being very rigid. And it's where their head and thorax kind of lifts up a little bit.
And then skips up.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it's doing a sit-up. They kind of got stuck in the up position. But what? You want to start here?
Like all
Beetles.
beetles, they have 6 legs and
Their
four
front
pair.
So their front pair has been adapted for digging. And the antennae atop their head are segmented, which we kind of see a lot in arthropods, but it's pretty
And when I was with my uncle, my aunt,
yeah.
they put on this like bug song.
Yeah.
And it was
So Charlie, this beetle, I was unaware existed, like I said, until it just started popping up in our yard. And you would rescue them.
Oh, Charlie.
So Charlie, you know what we did, right? Is we did the only logical thing, and we decided to keep some as pets.
Yeah, but this is like a one thing, at least in my house, like a beetles.
I do keep the arthropods at school too.
At least bring one home.
Yeah, I'll bring one home. But these make good arthropod ambassadors for when we do our outreach because they got little mouths, they got little mandibles that are impressive, and kids can hold them without any real worry. And they're a big wow factor for as little as they are. Now, they are pretty voracious predators. We feed ours dead crickets, and
which we keep having to go to the store, and Jude running around like 10 times.
Yeah, Jude does that at the store, yes. And the beetles will drag them under the soil, and eventually you just kind of find scattered body parts everywhere. Now, they're nocturnal creatures, but it is not very often that we get to see them because of that. But if I do happen to pop the lid off and flip one over quickly, they waste no time digging right back under, which is fun to watch. Mating information for this beetle was hard to come by. The only useful information I found was an article titled Observations of Behavior in Scarites, written by Thomas F. Helvig in 1967. That was quite a while ago. So yes, it's old, but I imagine, unfortunately, maybe not too many people are studying the big-headed ground beetle. So I will be basing this mating part off of this research paper. A little background on it, they collected a few of these beetles and gave them a little setup in which to observe them. The mating was observed by placing the beetles on a damp sand substrate. The males, and I grasped the females with her mandibles, I'm paraphrasing here. The exact placement appears to be dependent upon where they could grab. And this courtship revolves around the male trying to get his hold on the female to pass along his genetic material. Not much was said about the egg laying.
Yeah!
Was that it? You just wanted to say yeah? Okay. But the larvae of these beetles are also ground-dwelling and will burrow into tunnels made parallel to the surface. And the article suggests that maybe there was some parental support providing food, but they told us not to assume anything. They seem to think that the larvae survived on just scraps of food found in the tunnel.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, maybe. Now
Snake skin.
Snake skin? I mean, some things eat snake skin. You know,
I'm not
isopods do. You know, no, not us.
No,
Now
I don't think that would taste weird.
the larvae kind of have an impressive set of mandibles as well, which they use for
Which are like
grasping food and bragging under.
They have sharp. Some snakes have like fangs.
Some
to
snakes?
dig for the...
I don't think they use their fangs. Well, we have a hognose, and they use their nose to dig. Now, in this captive study, food was seen being taken into their burrows by both adults and the larva. Now, perhaps it is here that we should talk about the appearance of this larva, because it's not your average grub-like or meal-like larval stage. To me, it kind of resembles a rove beetle, and if you're unfamiliar with that, then it's time for you to go down the rabbit hole, because they're amazing creatures. So they're pretty long, about 3/4 of an inch or so, and the same article I was just speaking about spoke about how they have long, segmented bodies, and the head looks similar to that of the adult. So the kind of long, segmented abdomens that go down, impressive set of mandibles, and short little legs that they use to move around the ground. So the next time you're picking up a rock or a log and you happen to spot a decent-sized black beetle, we urge you to take a closer look and look for that thin waist and mandibles. Maybe it will even play dead for you. Anything else you want to say?
Becky Beyonce.
Becky Beyonce.
I had to say that.
Always. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Check out the channel.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode, right, Charlie?
Yeah.
If you have an arthropod you would love to hear about, want to tell us what you think about the show, or found one of our mistakes, send us an email at arthropodadventurespodcast@gmail.com. And you can find us on Instagram at arthropod_adventures_podcast and follow us there. And thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Never stop learning. Show your show notes and never stop learning.
Stay inquisitive.
And never stop learning.
And always check out the show notes. You're right.